Is it the biggest transfer of the last decade? I don't know. What do you think?
He's mid-prime. I don't think we've had a signing this big, a transfer this big of this caliber in a while. So I think the last one was probably maybe. Well, I saw that they were comparing it to Ronaldo leaving Man U just fresh off of a Balón de Oro, and he's about to hit his peak. I think this is similar. Mbappe is 25. Your peak is around 25 to 30, so he's definitely gonna have a good 5 years at Real Madrid. It's just scary to kind of think. What kind of team they're building, the things they're gonna win. But what do you think is the expectation? I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a big signing. It's a great team already, just fresh off of Champions League. What do you think what do you think the people are expecting?
So, I feel like one of the first things that comes to mind when you think of this transfer or the team overall is you think of the 2003 Galacticos Real Madrid team.
Yep.
You think of them, and obviously people are always going to say they didn't win anything. On one hand, they didn't really win much. They didn't win a Champions League, but they created something that everybody remembers. The people, like the general public, that's I guess a good thing. It's a cool thing to remember. But I think for Florentino Perez and Real Madrid, if they're not taking home at least the Champions League, they're not satisfied. So the expectation is they have to win everything, treble seasons, sextuple or whatever seasons. And I think anything less than that's it's kind of a failure, honestly.
No, I agree. I would say at least in the next 5 years, 2 Champions Leagues minimum. I think that's kind of what they have to go for, because even this season with injuries, they had a lot of injuries. They had Militao out, Alaba, so it's like they're coming back into the team. Arda is going to come back into the team, and they're making a decent signing with Endrick as well. So they definitely have a lot of firepower, bro. So it's kind of scary to think about. I mean, who can compete with them, bro? Like, it's kind of crazy.
You know what's
kind of crazy?
What's something that kind of crossed my mind earlier today is that second game against Man City when Madrid was parking the bus. If Mbappé was on Real Madrid, would that game have been much different?
I mean, so I think Mbappé brings a lot more to the table than Rodrigo does, especially in that game. Because if you remember, all they were doing was just shooting that up to Vinny. Vinny holds, Real Madrid catches up, and then they kind of try to do something with it. Maybe they didn't get a shot on target, but, they would move the ball up until the final third. I think Mbappé there, why not? I think he provides more than Rodrigo. If you don't pass it to Vinny, you can pass it to Mbappé. I think it's a completely different game with him on the field.
Yeah, I definitely see that. But on the other hand,
what do you think?
I also think of the Mbappé we saw against Barcelona and the Mbappé we saw against Dortmund.
Yeah.
That same Mbappé, it's a different system and stuff, but I don't know, man. I think if they were playing that Man City game with that version of Mbappé, I don't think the game would have been different. Like, I think it would have been very similar, because City, regardless, would have still possessed the ball. It's not like with Mbappé they're going to retain the ball more, So it's just maybe they're a little bit more clinical on the attack. But I still think the game would be a similar flow.
Similar game.
I don't think he changed that much in that aspect. But who knows? Maybe it's a mental thing too.
Yeah, speaking on how he would be in the team, how do you think he fits? What do you think they're gonna end up doing as far as formation goes? Because right now I think they play 2 up top, Rodrigo and Vinny. Yeah. Do you think we're gonna add a 4-3-3 system? But then again, a 4-3-3, you sacrifice a midfielder, and they're insanely deep in the midfield. So, what are you thinking there? Where does he fit?
I think he's gonna end up being. I think he's gonna be kind of more interchanging with Vinny, on the left side and at striker. I think they're gonna be kind of interchanging. I don't know. What do you think?
they both play on they both play on the left side. They both play obviously really well. So I think it's just a tough choice for Ancelotti because I mean who do you pick? And then you obviously have Rodrigo there. Endrick is coming in. He's definitely gonna come off the bench. I mean unless he just completely surprises us, but I think it's just a tough pick for Ancelotti, and like I said, you don't want to mess up the midfield because you're pretty deep there. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits in with the rest of the squad.
Yeah, no, I definitely think just like based off Ancelotti, like historically, he's not really like tactically like super strict or anything.
Yeah,
I feel like he kind of just lets the players do what they want to do.
100%.
So I think he'll give them freedom to kind of, try to figure it out.
Like them too.
Yeah, but that's the thing is with, it's gonna be interesting to see who plays on the front three, because with Bellingham there, he likes to push up a lot, and then Rodrigo, is he gonna start? Is he gonna be benched?
Yeah. I definitely think Rodrigo goes to the bench, which I don't know might affect the longevity of his career at Real Madrid, or maybe he becomes like a Lucas Vasquez. That dude has a ton of Champions Leagues just going off the bench, and he's happy, man. So you could kind of pull one of those roles.
Yeah, I don't really see it just because I feel like he's too much quality to have on the bench. I don't know.
So do you see them? Do you see him? Because he spoke recently in interviews. He's like, "No, I'm staying at Madrid. I'm not leaving." But I mean, as a player, you obviously want to play at the highest level. You want to get decent amount of playing time in like a year or two. Se va.
Yeah, who knows? I think if he doesn't this season, he'll stay for sure.
Yeah.
He'll feel it out, and if he's not getting the playing time he thinks he deserves, then I think he's gonna leave, or I think he has to leave at that point.
Dang, it's a Man U.
He's a starter on basically most teams in the world.
Yeah, most teams.
Yeah, and a team like Man U, imagine having him there.
I wish, but
I could see him on a team like Liverpool.
A man can dream. A man can dream. Him in the Prem would be sick, just to see that.
Or who knows, maybe because I know him and Rodrigo are pretty close. It causes a rift between them, between like Vinny, Rodrigo, and the rest of the team, or with Ancelotti, or with the club in general. Because another thing is, it seems like Real Madrid is, or Florentino's, even though Vinny's probably going to win Balón de Oro, from what it seems like, they're still putting Mbappé above him without really earning it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of crazy to think about.
He just kind of goes in and he's already calling the shots, he thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel or how Vinny would feel about that, how he feels. It might be all like fun and games right now, like all Mbappe's coming, but like once it's game time, we'll see if that's going to play a factor.
And I feel like Mbappe, I mean, Vinny has a pretty big ego, but I don't think he's ever used it against his own teammates. While Mbappe, on the other hand, I feel like at PSG, he was pretty much like a huge drama queen. He was calling the shots, telling people to stay, deciding who's leaving, everything like that. So, yeah, I could definitely see some problems coming up through this new locker room full of superstars. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think now you brought that up, it's probably because Vinny's never really had to. He's always been kind of like under Benzema. He was kind of like the student in a way.
Yeah.
So like this is kind of the first time that this type of conflict will come.
Yeah.
And like Mbappe's kind of been facing this his whole career, honestly, with Neymar, with Messi, with on France with Griezmann. Like he's kind of known for dealing with these kind of like issues.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out because I don't know if he's not banging in 30 goals a season. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He has to kind of hit the league the same way Haaland did, if not more. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see, in 5, 7 years what this pans out. Probably either the greatest. I mean, yeah, it could become an insane team, 2, 3, 4 Champions Leagues or something, or yeah, if they don't live up to the expectations, just another. Because I wouldn't say a flop, because I don't think the team's gonna flop. Like they're gonna win things, but in terms of what people are expecting, I feel like some people could be let down. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. As far as I know, we've talked about kind of team performance, but like individually, we just said 30 goals. Like, what's a realistic season like that we can expect out of like Balón de Oro right off the bat, or what are we thinking?
Nah, I'd give it maybe a second season. I think. Then again, Bellingham, he could have had it. He just didn't show up in the big games, so I don't think that they'd give it to him this year. I guess it still depends on the Euros and everything, but um, yeah, I don't know. I think in the long term, I would say at least a Balón de Oro. I feel like that's obviously a Champions League, but that's almost without saying. But Balón de Oro individually, that has to come out of it because he's not winning that at PSG. He has to do it at Real Madrid. So I feel like on his own, that is a letdown. And then yeah, I would say he has to break a few maybe records or something. Yeah, something 30 goals a season for him to live up to the expectation. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think he has to be banging in like 30 goals a season.
Yeah,
Probably win top scorer of La Liga.
yeah,
Um, he he has to be putting up those numbers because if he's not, I think it is kind of a flop.
yeah,
But yeah, collectively, obviously they gotta win everything, you know. But a lot of people, I think I'd say a good 90% of people are thinking, oh, it's over for the rest of the world, you know.
I mean, how do you feel as a Barca fan, bro? You think you're gonna win any La Liga titles in the next 5 years?
Um, I think
They
I
don't do
think there's
too.
a.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say I honestly like don't think it's over by any means. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, obviously it's Mbappe. It's a great signing to have, but I don't. I still think Barca and Atletico are gonna keep competing with Real Madrid. I don't think it's gonna. I think they could still win titles because they're not gonna. Although Barcelona's in like a tough situation right now,
Hey,
I still do think that they can compete with a couple signings here and there. They're not gonna have the superstars, but they've shown they can compete before, like last season.
yeah,
And obviously in that Galacticos era in the early 2000s, they competed back then. So like, what what's gonna stop them from competing now? You know, and
hmm,
then Champions League wise, I think City can still compete with them. You know,
yeah. No, City has a $100 million bench. They definitely have quality on their side to compete. But yeah, I don't they don't do too well. I mean, as consistent in La Liga either. So I could see them slipping there, but um, yeah, as far as Champions League goes, I mean that's their tournament.
new format too in the Champions League. So
Yeah, true,
who
true. I
knows if
guess we'll
that
see
plays a
how
part?
that plays into everything. But
Yeah,
yeah, man, I definitely see another two trophies, two Champions Leagues at least
by
by
the
the
end
end
of
of
this
the
five
decade.
years. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But on that note, let us know what you guys think. Comment down below. Let us
Yes,
know if you
sir.
think Mbappe is gonna be the signing of the decade or flop or just mid.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. Let us know what you think qualifies him as a flop, as a success. Some stats, what kind of trophies he needs to get. But yeah, Christian,
Yeah, it's only up from here, boys.
let's go.
Until next time.